What is up guys, Vortex here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you a game from the BT-09 format featuring MetalGarurumon X and GrandisKuwagamon. I'll be playing MetalGaruru on the right, and my opponent has the first turn. So he plays Palmon, the promo, and then he goes to Weedmon for one. Hatch, get the Sunemon, I then go into the Gabu, and then I go into the Gabu X, which I was tempted to hard play, but I wanted to go for the guaranteed free memory every turn because we kind of need that for later turns. He then goes into, I believe, Okawamon, considering what he wants to do next. And he goes for the green memory boost. He does get another level. Oh, that's level 5 actually, my bad. Still learning a lot of these green cards in the format. So I decided to hard play the X-Antibody. I get a good target there in the Garuru, something that I was actually desperately looking for. And then I just Digivolve into it and then end my turn. So at this point I've got like a pretty decent hand. I don't really want to have the X-Antibody in play because unfortunately it kind of does allow him to go into these kind of plays, which allows him to suspend and then also gain a memory, and then he can attack into it because he has piercing currently. But I was still learning the deck, so I wasn't too sure about what's going on. So he's got a monumental lead. I'm still struggling behind, but hopefully in my next turn I'll be able to bring a comeback with potentially a Were Garuru. He's considering what he wants to do. Maybe he decides to pop the green memory boost to then go for another search. I think at this point, like, as he hasn't played anything else, he would have gone straight into the level 6, I would have thought. So I think he's like searching for it. He goes into the blocker. For one cost, he attacks into it, and then he does one security check. It's a Garuru, so only 4k, I believe. And then he goes into level 5 in the egg area. I then promote, and then I start going for my main play here. So I go into the X-Antibody Garuru for a free draw. And at this point I'm considering what I should do about the sequencing. So I go into Sagittarius mode. Unfortunately there is no level 3s in play, but it's just the name I'm really looking for here. So at this point I'm considering if I want to attack into the Okawamon X-Antibody, because then I can go into the X-Antibody to return the Kabuterimon. This is like not like a super competitive game, so I decided he wanted to change his mind, and that's perfectly fine. And then basically it basically came out on the same outcome. It's just obviously one less security, unfortunately. But we're still both learning the decks, so I didn't really mind it at the time, obviously. And then at this point I'm going to go into the MetalGaruru, which I think just allows me to unsuspend and get blocker. As I don't have a MetalGaruru underneath or an X-Antibody, I don't really get its effect. So at this moment he's just trying to promote. And I think at this point he's starting to realise that he doesn't really have many answers. He goes to the Kabuterimon drawing. I'm like thinking about it in my head, like what can I do, like what other plays can I make in my following turn. He goes to the Weedmon, give me the 2, because he knows I have blocker. So then I'm just considering, I'm going to go, I think, a Digivolve into a couple level 3s before to see the answers that I have. So yep, go to the Gabu, search Gabu. And I think at this point I'm just considering, like, what do I want to do? And so I hard play a Gabumon there, so I can get some more searches, potentially find what I'm looking for. I'm still thinking about the choice here. I think I go to the Garuru because I still value the search, the draw at this point, because I'm still missing some valuable parts in the deck. I then have the X-Antibody, so just so that I can return if it does get unsuspended during my next turn, basically. So I go for the swing on security, 6k, so it's perfectly fine. And then I end my turn by going into the Garuru. I don't know how I feel about it in this situation. I mean, from what I've gathered currently, that he's struggling to find level 6s, so I thought this play would be pretty good. But it does leave myself a little bit open. And this is a card I wasn't expecting. This is a card that allows me to return, but basically return a suspended and a tamer that is suspended as well. And it goes to the bottom of the deck, so I was kind of like shocked about that because I wasn't expecting that whatsoever, basically. And so now I'm just looking. I've got a lot of memory to play with, so that should be able to close it out for me. I play a Cool Boy, so that I can get some more searches, mainly looking for the X-Antibody, I believe. The Garuru. I'm just explaining to my opponent like what I'm basically missing at this point. And so I go into the X-Antibody, so I have protection, get another memory, so the Cool Boy essentially was like for 1 memory. I then finally have the Garuru, so feeling pretty good now. I then swing at security, I get a draw, it's obviously higher than the blocker, I get to restand. I put the X-Antibody underneath it, drawing. I'm not going to use the effect here, I believe. So it's 2k. Maybe I should have done that, but I then go into the X-Antibody on its own, suspending... oh no, it's returning, sorry, returns. And then I'm going to go for the next swing, it's 2 checks. And then it goes to game. So we'll go next into game 2. Alright, and now we're getting into game 2. So first of all, I'm starting, so I get to hatch. I go into the X-Antibody here, and then I'm pretty sure I just end up... I don't really have many answers in hand, so I end up going for the hero. So that was pretty good to have, but I don't think it really mattered this game, unfortunately. He has the level 3, so he's feeling pretty good. Able to digivolve in raising, basically. He's then thinking about what he wants to do. He plays the Palmon, and then he goes to the Weedmon, and then he goes to the Akawamon, giving 3. So a pretty strong turn 1 from the green deck itself. I end up getting the Garurumon here, going to 1, drawing. It's not the one I'm looking for. I'm primarily looking for the draw one. But then I have to pass. My hand, I believe at this point, was literally 2 MetalGarurumons and 1 MetalGaruru. So it wasn't... We weren't getting anywhere, basically. So basically, the green had basically 3 turns. And he has the OTK, not GrandisKuwagamon, or whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But it's the one that allows you to get all the security attacks in, basically. Go for the security to see if I can do anything. I hit a Mimi, which is the absolute worst in this situation. And then, as you can see, I'm playing the MetalGaruru because I literally don't have an answer here. This was a heavy brick, and from all the playtesting that I've done so far, I haven't experienced a brick in this deck. There's been times where I haven't found like certain pieces, like I haven't found the level 4 or something like that, but this time it was literally nothing. And so basically he's just getting free reign. He's thinking about what he wants to do. He's going into the level 3. I mean, at this point it's kind of like curtains because he literally just has all the answers. I joke around making it another suspended again, but didn't really matter that much. This was something I actually didn't know about GrandisKuwagamon, was the fact that you can actually put the security on other things other than itself. I didn't know that at the time, and we're going to see that coming up very soon. So he's just considering what he wants to do at this point. We're having a discussion of like, oh, like what can you do? Like what inheritables do you have basically underneath? And yeah, I mean, it ended up being quite a lot of stuff. I think it was gain a memory and also gain piercing. So he decides to do 2, I believe. He's considering anyways. He does go for it though, I'm pretty sure. He goes for the 2 to give it to the Akawa. This is where I was like, oh, I didn't even know you can do that, which is then why I checked. But you can do that, and you go to GrandisKuwagamon for 1. Swing a secure, or not secure, metal, and it has piercing, so it does 1 check. It's a Garuru. Swing, goes into it, and then does additional checks. First check was a Cool Boy, which helped, but I don't have literally anything to go on with. And then second check, another Garuru. Then he plays Green Memory Boost to finish off his turn. A really strong turn, obviously. And at this point, what can you do? Like, you don't really have any answers, and I scoop it up. Alright, and we get into game 3. I'm starting off again, and I have a pretty good opening, I believe, in this game. I have the Gabumon, and then I hard play another Gabumon to get some searching, and then I end up getting the Garurumon. Not the one I'm looking for, I'm primarily looking for the draw one, but the one with 1k DP is actually not that bad in this matchup. So he goes into the Powermon and then the Weedmon, a pretty good stack straight up basically. He's considering what he wants to do, and he goes to Mimi to choke me to 2. And so at this point I'm thinking about what I want to do. I Digivolve into the Garurumon. I then go into Garurumon X-Antibody here. I then get the search from Gabumon X-Anti. I get the WereGaruru, and I think this is where I actually made like a pretty big misplay. I probably should have swung with the Gabumon X-Antibody, and I show it there because I don't think it survives, because even if it has if it gets suspended, I'm in a world of trouble. But luckily he doesn't have it, but I feel like I should have still unsuspended and played a little bit more proactively. So now it's my turn. I'm on 2 memory. I have WereGaruru. I'm trying to think. So I do the play now. It actually ends up mattering a bit that I did attack, but it doesn't really matter. I have the WereGaruru, and then I unsuspend. I swing again. So pretty good security to take at the moment. At this moment I was really looking for the X-Antibody WereGaruru, because that would actually make things a lot more easier for me, because then he can't really do that much. So I go into the MetalGarurumon, and I believe I have... it didn't really matter because he was going to 3 anyways, basically, but just wanted to go into it basically just for a bigger body, so he couldn't go straight into the piercing. I also had the Ice Wall, so the Ice Wall's pretty effective this turn, obviously. It's just, it's just a deterrent to stop him from attacking, and if he does, then it ends his turn basically. So at this moment he's considering probably using the Green Memory Boost to go into a higher level. I believe we're just checking what this does basically. Having a bit of stalemate, he's thinking about what he wants to do. He decides to swing the Gobbly into the Gabumon, and then that ends his turn. I get to hatch another egg. I then go into the Gabumon. I then swing at security, and this was huge. I had I believe the X-Antibody in hand, and just seeing that really sucked for me basically. At that point I felt like I was pretty much just guaranteed to lose, and yeah, it didn't feel very good, because I had the Omnimon in hand as well, I believe. So I was kind of just not good at all, basically. So at this point I'm basically forced to build my stack again. So I go into the Garurumon, go to 0, draw. I believe I have the X-Antibody for this as well. Yep, so I draw again. Basically at this point I'm just hoping that he can't OTK me. Basically he's going to get 7 memory on his turn, which is huge for this deck. So yeah, I think in hindsight I probably could have cleared the board, because what I could have done is that I could have gone Garuru, swing into the Gobbly, and then go into X-Antibody to then return the Weedmon, and then this game would be over, it would be done, and there wouldn't be any way to come back basically unless he starts hard playing stuff, which then I can return back to the hand because of MetalGarurumon X ability. So he swings the security for 3k, he ends up checking the 3k. He then goes into Okawa X-Antibody, he trashes one of the green memory boosts to get an additional 2. He then goes into Grandis, it costs 1 less. I didn't know this at the time, but that is what it does. He's then considering like what does he want to do basically. Heavily considering maybe like just go full OTK and then hope I don't have the pieces. Yeah, I think we're just discussing Mimi at this point, and its ability because it wasn't used, so I was just we're kind of curious about it. So he ends up detaching 2. Obviously gets his loads of effects just due to the fact that it gets Digiburst a lot. Takes 3 security, nothing stopping him obviously because he has jamming. And so he's like considering like, because at this moment like I'm basically like scared because he's obviously playing like a lot of security based cards, so I'm kind of worried that the last security in his stack is going to be something that really does affect me. I'm really hoping that isn't the case basically. And then he goes into Kabuteri, draw, I then promote. Okay, so now I'm like, I have to go to the MetalGaruru, I have enough to go back to 0 basically, I'm just showing him the cards. I then swing security, it's nothing, and then I have the Omnimon, and then I swing for game. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this match, please let me know in the comments down below. Like, favourite and subscribe to the channel for more Digimon content, and I'll see you guys next time.